Has your every relationship crashed and burned after a few months? You've tried every trick in the book, but no woman ever seems to be ready to invest in you? Well, you're in luck, because we've got just the right mix of tips and tricks for you that guarantee one thing and one thing only. The next girl you like will fall head over heels for you. From finding the right style to shared experiences, you're going to get your happily ever after in no time. Finding the right style. Let's start from the basics. The essential first step is all about you. When you're stepping foot in the ring of love, you want to make sure your personal checklist is complete. You can't deny that looks play a huge role in giving you a leg up in the game. Now you may be wondering, how do I change something I have no control over? Well, that's the thing. Your looks are not limited to your facial or bodily features. It's okay if you don't have a sharp jawline and symmetrical face. In reality, your charm lies in how you present yourself. And the best way to bring out that confidence in yourself is to find the style that suits you just right. So here's the deal. You start by shopping for some fashionable outfits. Remember, you're on the hunt for the ensemble that indicates you've got your life sorted. Mix and match, try on different styles, take feedback from your close friends, and then stick with one that makes you feel like $1,000,000. Go with the basics and keep on elevating your taste. Here, gentlemen, you have nailed the first step of making a killer first impression. Do you know what that means? You've got the charm, the confidence, and the wit to make a woman go crazy for you. But hey, style is not just about the clothes. It's also about the grooming game. Women dig a man who keeps himself groomed and sexy. What you gotta do is find yourself a nice salon, pick a haircut that goes with your face, and stick with it. Now, if you can hold her attention with some killer conversation skills and infuse in a bit of humor, then gentlemen, you're on the fast track to securing that second date and making her fall for you. Shoot for the sexy and mysterious vibe. Before we move on to the next step, let's get one thing straight. Sexiness isn't just about looking like a Greek god or a supermodel. Think of sexiness as a cocktail. It's a mix of right body language, confidence, personality, and charm that leave a trail of admirers in their wake. Now for body language. It's your silent seduction weapon. You need to master the eye contact game. We'll touch base on this in just a minute. However, if you make eye contact like a pro, you let your gaze speak volumes. And if you couple this with your signature alluring facial expressions, you've got yourself a master class in nonverbal flirting. Speaking of flirting, your tone and vocabulary while talking add to your sexy vibe. A sultry, attractive tone can make even the most mundane conversation sound like a steamy romance novel. But here's the thing, you have to strike a balance between speaking too much and speaking too little. An integral part of attraction, especially for women, is the mystery that surrounds you. You'll want to make sure you leave them wanting more. After all, you want them to come back to you again and again. Pro tip: if you're not a smooth talker, do some reading on The Obsession Method by Kate Spring. Trust us, it's the ultimate guide to make women swoon with desire. Master the art of eye contact. As we said, eye contact is a critical part of nonverbal communication. Imagine having the ability to elicit desire just through the movement of your eyes. It's one of the ways to show interest and make your woman feel special, but it's also the perfect way to display your confident and dominating personality. You don't want to be one of those men who are so shy that they can't even string a few coherent sentences together. You're aiming to be the one who can show a woman what a catch you are. Now, forget about staying neutral. In this game, you're all about the "I'm interested" look. When you gaze into her eyes, she should feel like her eyes are the most fascinating thing in the universe. 95% of the time, she'll reciprocate it back. Let's tell you a secret. If she's reciprocating, she's letting her guard down around you. And guess what? This means she's seeing you in a positive and sexual light. Now, aren't you all about unspoken connections? Cue the fireworks. Nevertheless, you have to make sure you don't get too carried away with the intense eye contact. You don't need to turn into a human laser beam. Keep it balanced. Think about it like a reward system. When your date is genuinely interested, engaged, and showing some signs of attraction herself, that's your cue to hit her with the enchanting gaze. But if she's being a bit distant or giving you the cold shoulder, it's time to whip out the bored look. When you start to look uninterested, you're saying that conversation should flow both ways. That comes off as bold and sexy. Gentle touches. Warm and gentle touches are the literal key to the release of love hormones, and we're here to help you crack the code on how to do these best. Let's talk about how to get it just right without turning into a handsy catastrophe. First things first, touching her is the perfect way of sending the "I'm into you" signal. But if you don't hold your horses, you might just risk going overboard. That's why we say there's a fine line between being a smooth operator and coming off like an octopus at a seafood buffet. You definitely don't want to cross that line. So, rule number 1, don't treat her like she's your personal property. This isn't a game of tag, and you don't get extra points for tagging her everywhere. Instead, think of it as a subtle dance, a way to show your interest without overwhelming her. A gentle touch on the waist while you're both mingling at a party? Smooth move. Or throwing your arm casually over her shoulder while you're riding together or just hanging out? Perfect. But here's the golden rule. Be sensual and warm, not creepy. Nobody wants to feel like they're auditioning for a horror movie, right? So, keep it light, keep it respectful, and always pay attention to her cues. If she's not feeling the touchy-feely vibe, respect her boundaries. When a woman sees you respecting her boundaries, it won't even take a minute for her to fall for you. Aim for shared experiences. Ah, the sweet, sweet adventure of love. It's like a roller coaster ride for her heart and a big load of dopamine. Here, we're about to tell you how you can keep that pleasure and desire alive by turning your relationship into a thrilling journey. Dopamine is like the love conductor in your brain, and it goes absolutely bonkers when you're head over heels for someone. Dr. Helen Fisher, the love guru, says that the same dopamine rush you get when you're falling in love can be reignited by doing new things together. Every time you indulge in new things together, you press the refresh button on your romance. However, what we're telling you is that you don't need to go skydiving and bungee jumping every weekend to keep things exciting with her. Yet, what you need to do is to make sure you don't settle into a routine with her, or else you can kiss her falling for you goodbye. Shake things up a bit. It keeps the relationship titillating. For instance, instead of hitting the same old restaurant on date night, explore the unknown. Try a new place, a new cafe, or a movie theater. And here's a secret. You don't even have to leave the house for a dash of novelty. How about a romantic picnic in your own backyard on a starry Saturday night? Or a candlelit dinner with champagne while your masterpiece cooks in the oven? The point is, that novelty is the name of the game. Keep on adding spark to your dates, and lay back and see how she falls hard and fast for you in no time. Emotional investment. This bit is tricky. Most men seem to falter here. But where's the fun if there are no hard obstacles for you to overcome? First of all, your end goal here is that you need to lock down that emotional investment from her. You're on the path to convince them to join your emotional 401k plan, because of course, the returns are pretty sweet. Now, it can start with something as simple as her reaching out for your hand to hold in a public space. You've earned her trust. Or if you're really hitting things off, she might start telling you about her deepest personal goals. Do you want to know the best case scenario? Well, the ultimate level up is when you both end up moving in together. Here's the correlation. The more she invests in you, the shinier you become in her eyes. You are the emotional goal she's been searching for. However, here's the hardest part. Most men tend to become laid back after the relationship has reached a comfortable place. They never go the extra mile. You are not going to make that mistake. You don't want her efforts to go unnoticed. Think back to the reward system. Appreciate the good things, whatever chance you get, and they will keep coming. When you've hacked this hack, trust us, you have built the foundation of a sustainable relationship. Found this video helpful? Drop a comment below and hit that like button for more.